Hi, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about a very exciting project that's coming up in Tampines North called Parktown Residences. A park within a town within a park, depending on how you see it. And also, at the time of this recording, right, last weekend, Ori was 86% sold at the average price of 2,007 per square feet, with some of the units breaking 3,000 per square feet. Honestly speaking, I feel it's a little bit unexpected. What do you think? We talk a little bit about the result first.
Yeah, I think pricing wise, it's I would say higher than what I expected it to go, like even beyond 3,000. Right, I was thinking maybe like 2.9 might be already
The threshold.
yeah, threshold, but they went even further. So demand is still good there.
So, which brings about when we're doing this recording for Parktown, right, we are hoping that the developers of both Alta as well as Parktown coming up, right, they try to give chance a bit more, you know what I mean? So that our end users, the consumers, will be able to buy at a very affordable price point and certainly make some profit when the time comes when it TOP. So, without further ado, let's start on about the location itself. So Parktown, for those who are not very familiar with, right, the easiest or most iconic thing when we talk about it, right, when I say, oh, you know where is the IKEA at Tampines? People say, oh, okay, then they will start to think a little bit that is around there. Because frankly speaking, this is a very, very new township. People are more familiar with the matured town of Tampines, right, where all the, Tampines hub is and everything. But when you talk about Tampines North, right now, everything is still like bare land with a lot of HDBs. The only few blocks that's currently with people staying in it, right, they are not as populated yet, right? Overall, maybe you can do some introduction about the location itself.
Okay, location itself, yeah, like what John said, this is, when you think about IKEA, it's just like slightly down. So that's where all the newer HDB flats are. If you recall, there was once where there was a lift lobby that was like super red, super green. I think that should be the estate, right? The Tampines North area.
Interesting.
So yeah, that was something that went viral because of the colors that was chosen for the flat. I think they repainted the whole thing.
Too red, some people cannot accept. As we all know, Tampines is really a very matured town, matured estate, but it's actually far from fully developed because we look at Tampines North itself, it's really something like a mini township in progress of building. And not to be confused with Tampines West, which we saw a few launches, a lot of launches a few years ago, like Tapestry, Alps, Park Central, not to be confused with that cluster. Tampines North itself is going to be a brand new mini township where I think that there's a lot of opportunities coming up. So as we all know, Parktown Residences is going to be the first private residential project happening in Tampines North itself. So it reminded me a bit like Lentor Modern. It's like the first project, also fully integrated, directly connected to the MRT station, launching in Lentor. So what do you think, Taufik?
Yeah, I think this is the similar sentiments that you see on the ground. Like whenever we serve buyers or our clients and they want to look in, especially in Lentor area, then they will always have that thought where, oh man, I should have bought Lentor Modern beforehand. Because of, integrated development is one and the pricing back then was even better.
Yeah, exactly. So like when we're serving buyers for like Lentoria or Lentor Mansions, those are the projects that is subsequently launched. So whenever we talk to those buyers, right, they say, wow, I should have bought Lentor Modern when I got the chance, because it is really the first project, but in an untested, proven area. So a lot of people will have some doubts, but looking at the overall plans of Singapore government, right, they won't allow their plans to fail in that sense. So when we talk about Tampines North in that sense, right, there are a few more plots of private residential that is not yet released, and we are seeing from the master plan that with the success of a launch of Parktown Residences, subsequently we will be expecting these projects to be very well received as well. Not forgetting that in the past, there's already two projects being Tenet EC as well as upcoming Orel EC that's going to be just situated not far away from Tampines North. These projects are expected to do well as well. And of course, if you go down there right now, you may feel a little bit not so convenient because things are not exactly very established yet. Maybe people who are staying over there, they need to take bus around and all these things. But future is going to be a bit more exciting. What's coming up in the future, Taufik?
Okay, one of it is the Cross Island line. So you know that it's going to be an integrated development, right?
Yeah.
And the Cross Island line is just going to be like downstairs. It's easy for you to access. So accessibility is definitely one of the main point of this development, aside from the malls that you have, the hawker center and all the stuff that you have. Yeah, and being connected to that Cross Island line, you can also get to downtown line easily, just a few stops away, your red line, your circle line. It's really very convenient to stay in this development, right? So aside from just Cross Island line, we are also looking at the bigger picture. There's the Terminal 5 coming up. And if you're looking closer to the west side, you have the Paya Lebar Air Base as well. So a lot of future transformation happening here. And it being in that new estate, it will definitely have a lot of future buyers for your house, future upgraders. There are a lot of new BTOs there, just built, people just moved in like I think 1 or 2 years ago only. So those are the future buyers of your house if you are going to be investing into a Parktown Residence.
It's something like for example, like today, if I go to Punggol, right, we have a few clients also staying in Punggol area. Like for example, they're staying in the HDB nearby. They always go to that particular mall to shop. Then they will think to themselves, actually, how nice is it to stay upstairs? But when they check the price, actually, quite expensive really. I should have bought much earlier. So it's the same concept is happening over at Parktown. When more and more people stay in within this cluster or within this estate, no other places they will go for their daily shopping, amenities, hawker, kids enrichment. So every time they will just pass by or go to this mall. When you have the chance to buy the project that is just above this mall. So imagine like, for example, I always tell a story of my client. Rainy days, recently rainy days. So he fetched the little kid to go for enrichment. I say, wow, last time I got a chance to buy this development. I didn't go and buy. Then now I'm staying in another project just nearby, but still got to walk, right? I say, every time raining, I got to suffer and get a kid across the road under the rain or under the hot sun. So it's something interesting stories like this that make us curious or amusing that people got a choice to buy, but they subsequently regretted it not going ahead with their decision. So of course, being a brand new development, right? Around here, there is not many primary school choices. There is within 1 kilometer or walking distance. I think the nearest one would be the Angsana Primary, which is still walking distance. But if you're talking about within 1 click, right, then the popular one will be Poi Ching. Poi Ching is within 1 click. Further down, if you want St. Hilda's or you want Gongshan Primary, probably this is only within 2 clicks, but not within 1 km. However, if let's say you're alumni of these schools, I don't think it will be much a problem. And of course, we are also very excited about how established these developers are. So, Taufik, share with us who are the developers of these Parktown Residences.
Okay, so for Parktown, you have a joint venture of UOL, CapitaLand, and Singland. So these are reputable developers. You've definitely heard of these names before if you are staying in Singapore. So you know their track record and the developments that they have done before, the quality is there, and you don't have to worry about whether they're going to do a good job or not, because I'm sure it will be good.
And talking about CapitaLand, they are probably the best mall management or mall operator in Singapore. Everywhere you go, you compare. I don't want to name any names in terms of the shopping mall, but you see malls that are managed by CapitaLand, they're good at it, simply said. Compared to some of the malls that are maybe strata or not properly managed. You can tell the difference in terms of the retail mix. You can tell the difference in terms of how well run it is. So Parktown Residences, right, is actually sitting on a very huge plot of land, right, which covers almost 500,000 square feet space, which is much bigger than Watertown if you want to compare in Punggol, and probably even bigger than the Yishun North Park. This project, right, is going to be consisting of a 1193 units, which is not a exactly small development. So good news is that your maintenance fee probably will be more manageable. Subsequently, you also know that this project is going to be completed probably around the end of 2028. Of course, the Cross Island Line is going to be completed, estimated about 2031 or 2032, which means that maybe just a few years you may lack the MRT. But again, I think LTA is always usually very conservative in quoting their timeline, so it may be ahead of schedule. So bear in mind that this bus interchange, it may be operational already, so you will rely on the bus services for the short term. But when Cross Island Line is completed, you will see improved connectivity, you will see improved convenience overall. Not forgetting that staying within this development itself, you have your things like community CC, you have your hawker center, everything within a single roof. So this is what I usually like to share with people, that this is a umbrella-less living. once you stay in Parktown, right, you don't need to buy umbrella anymore. Everything is within that building itself.
Yeah, so let's go into the unit mix itself. We are looking at 1 bedroom plus study, 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom plus study, 3 bedroom, 3 plus study as well, 4 and 5 bedrooms. So when it comes to the percentages that you have here, you can see that a lot of the units are geared towards 1 and 2 bedroom. So I feel like the developers are going to a more investor-centric or even small families and singles going into here. So I believe like if you are looking at investors, it will be a pretty good location because of all the places of work, if you like to say, like for example, Terminal 5 that's coming up, all the other terminals that are already existing. There's Changi Business Park, which is also just nearby, so a lot of tenants will be coming from there. And aside from that, people who are working at the airport or airline services, right? If they want to rent a place that is just nearby to the airport, ease of traveling, this will be one development they will definitely consider.
Not forgetting that the Paya Lebar airbase will be shifting out. So once that is shift out, there will be opening up a lot more land for opportunities to build more housing and more commercial activities over there as well.
Yeah, so definitely hundreds of thousands of jobs will be created, and all these will also bring in the demand for accommodation. So beside that, when we are looking at the layout, the floor plan, right, the units have pretty good common bedroom size. They can actually fit queen size bed comfortably. Right, if you compare to some of the projects out there, not to mention any names, right, some of the common rooms might be a little tight when you have a queen size bed inside, but this one is pretty sizable.
Some can't even fit in a queen size bed. Some of the other projects, sometimes their layout, their common room can only maximum you put a super single. That's it. So at least for these Parktown residences, as we look through the floor plans, no complaints at all. Really, very well done.
Right, so when looking at the layout itself, if we are looking at a 1+ study, one thing you will notice is there's no balcony. So more of the space are being usable inside the house. The study area is pretty decent size as well. It's just in between the master bathroom and the master bedroom, right? And if you even consider you want to make like a walk-in wardrobe, you can do that with this kind of layout. Right. So when we are looking at the 2 bedroom plus study, this is more or less a dumbbell layout. Right. It's a pretty good layout, I would say. Not much of space wasted, very efficient and functional. Right. You can see if you are from the entrance, if you are entering, you can see the kitchen on the left or right, depending if it's a mirror image or whichever stack you are looking at. Right. And the only thing I would say for this unit is, if we were to highlight something, is that in terms of ventilation of the bathroom or the kitchen, it might not be there naturally, right? So that's something that you might want to take note of, right? If you're talking about the study is pretty decent size. This is something that I would think if you want to extend the study area to do up something that you can cover into a room, this might be, you can even convert this into a helper's room if you'd like.
The study space is really huge, I see.
Alright, the next layout we are looking at is a 3-bedroom premium. This has 1066 square feet of area. What we are looking at here, if you are going to compare it to the 2-bedroom plus study that we are talking about earlier on, it has more natural ventilation. So I'm just going to highlight the bathroom, even the water closet in the kitchen has natural ventilation. So that is something that you might like.
And of course, being a GLS, all the GLS means that everything is under the PPVC building construction method, which means to say something to highlight, right? That means some of the walls in between the bedrooms, right, are not hackable. So these are just little things that you may want to take note of. Moving forward, all the GLS projects, we are all moving towards this construction method, which means to say it's harder and harder to plan around in terms of reconfiguring your space.
Alright, the next layout will be the 4-bedroom premium. This one we are looking at is type DP2. There's 1496 square feet of space. Right, what we are looking at here is that your junior master bedroom has a dedicated junior master bathroom. So that means you don't have a Jack and Jill concept kind of bathroom where you have to share that bathroom with another common room. Right, so your privacy is pretty much good over there. That leaves the other 2 bedroom 3 and bedroom 4 to have their own common bathroom, which is bathroom 3. And of course, towards the corner, you have the master bedroom with its own dedicated master bathroom. Right, and all the bathroom, including the WC in the kitchen, has their natural ventilation. It's pretty good. Living room size and the balcony is also spacious. So that is something that a family would like, because when you have such a big family, you want to have space for everyone to enjoy their time together at home.
Also, I noticed the kitchen has this sliding door concept, which means to say you can actually open up the kitchen, right, to make it even more spacious looking. While you're standing in the kitchen, preparing your meals, you can look out into the dining and living. It will give a very good sense of space.
So the final layout that we are going to go through is 5-bedroom premium type E1. This one is 1679 square feet, right? So 5 bedrooms. You can see that 3 of the bedrooms will be sharing one of the common bathroom. Then junior master bathroom, of course, with the bedroom, same for the master bedroom. So the difference here that you can see is that the master bedroom has a walk-in wardrobe. Yeah, so that's extra space for your spouse to put their clothes in. Right.
The master bedroom of the 5-bedroom is also much bigger compared to the master bedroom of the 4-bedroom premium. Yeah, so really gives a very good sense of space.
Right, and what we are seeing is the kitchen has a similar concept to the 4-bedroom. It has that sliding door where you can open and close as well. So yeah, pretty well done, the layout, I would say.
So coming to the end of video, of course, we are most excited to find out is what is going to be the estimated price point for this particular project. On the ground, we have been hearing that there's going to be a very wide range, but I think following the success of the Ori, and there's so many projects that's still coming up in the pipeline. If the developer were to be more aggressive, I think they may even push the price point to further up to around 2004 to 2005 per square feet, or probably even more. But they got this piece of land at around 1,006 plus per square feet back then. So given the break-even price plus the profit, they should be selling around 2,000, 2,001 per square feet, which I don't think they would be pricing it that low, because come on, integrated development, I don't think it is going to be priced at this price range. So a good estimate, I will consider it should be around 2,100 to 2,500 per square feet on the average, depending on facing, depending on layout, depending on the floor difference as well, whether is it high floor or low floor. So of course, if you really want to find out more about what is the price point that is safe to enter, always do feel free to reach out to us. And also we need to really understand your individual needs before we can recommend this to you or your family. And of course, as always, we will always want to find out like whether it makes sense to enter. What do you think, Taufik? If you buy at, let's say, 2,300 per square feet for this project, a 3-bedroom, that will work out to be about 2.2 mil, 2.3 mil, thereabout. Do you think it's still a very safe price to enter?
I think yes, it will be a quite safe and prudent price to mention at this point in time, because as we have seen, this area is still new. There's a lot of potential that is coming up, and being one of the first few private development in that area itself, surrounded by a lot of potential future buyers, I think the volume of transactions over the years will have an effect on the pricing, which will definitely have a competitive advantage.
Okay, that makes sense. Then what about the potential buyers? Who should buy, who should not buy, that kind of thing?
Okay, for potential buyers, I believe if you are someone who have stayed in the East and you are looking for an integrated development, integrated development there's not a lot of it, something that comes with the MRT itself, the mall, and so much. And if we put up the picture here, you can also see that the whole development is really huge, right? 12 blocks is actually pretty gigantic.
Mega development. I can call it a mega development already.
Yeah. So for those of you who are looking for that kind of convenience, everything is just below you. Ease of transportation, buying stuff, like what John said, umbrella-less lifestyle. So this is one project you should definitely consider and find out if you are suitable to purchase this, right? And on the other side, for those who should not buy this, one group of buyer I would say that you might want to consider this properly if you really want to buy this is if you are eligible for EC. There's another EC that's upcoming in Tampines, right? So if the pricing is a little out of your budget, and if you feel like that might be a little stretched for you, you might want to wait for that EC. But then again, in terms of timeline, you might have to wait longer before you can make your next move.
Actually, that EC will be Orel at Tampines.
I didn't say that.
From what we understand, it's going to be launching side by side. That means, from my understanding, is that these two developers are going to pit each other head on. But again, if you are one of the buyers that is still lucky to qualify for EC, then perhaps you may want to take a look at Orel. Definitely, the overall design concept is going to be different. but do consider Orel as well if you are able to qualify for it. And of course, I always like to share with people, those people who are very allergic to young people, allergic to young town, then probably Tampines North area is not for you, because this is really a still developing town with a lot of young families coming in, a lot of excitement coming up. It's still somewhat developing, it's not fully established yet. So I will say that it has a more potential upside in the future as well.
Alright, we've come to the end of the video, but here's the important thing. We have met quite a number of you out there who reach out to us to talk about your situation and the projects that you are interested in. But however, some of you reached out to us pretty late, so there's not enough time for us to put into action for you to go for that new launch ballot day, right? So it's always good to reach out to us early for the projects, especially for these two like Parktown that is upcoming very soon. It's good to meet us early. We have to go through your whole process, find out if you're eligible for it, find out what you need to do before you can purchase that unit. So we have ample of time to react to everything.
Yes. And as always, don't forget to like, share, comment. If you find this video helpful, please share this to your friends. And we do hope to see more of you in person, and check out our next video which is coming up soon, which is we'll be covering Orel EC. Alright?
See you.
See you.